Hello Facebook ads people, I'm Konstantinos, and today we're going to talk again about hot pockets and all my theory about them and stuff so that we can discuss it and we can agree and disagree. So, first of all, I want to clarify something, that anything that you're going to hear on this video is my personal opinion, and I have never been able to verify it with someone from Meta or something, okay? So the situation is this. It's coming from my personal observations. I'm open to discussing with anyone else having to say anything else, but I'm backing it up with numbers. So whoever comes and says something, they need to back it up with numbers. That being said, let me tell you on how I believe that Facebook is working. Some of these things are proven, some of those are not, but I had to make the whole puzzle into my head in order to understand, and this has helped me to find methods like the crazy method or other things that they are provenly working. So let's go. When you're having an ad set or an ad which is optimizing, because still I was believing that the whole optimization is happening on the ad set level. I do believe now that it's happening on the ad level after the Advanced Plus, because over there I can see that you can create different hot pockets, because I have tested Advanced Plus Crazy Method, which is having one ad working, duplicating it a lot of times, and then I could see that it was having different results. And this is very easy to see it on other accounts, that they have completely different average order values between the orders, so that you can see that when of the ads were optimizing for high average order value, then it was continuing like that, and when it wasn't, it was continuing with a smaller average order value. This is also another thing which led me to think that there are hot pockets and they are being formed based on who is actually buying at the start. But let's take it from the beginning. Initially, we have an ad which is starting, and the first thing that is getting is engagement, people who engage with it and so on. And for that reason, when people are engaging with an ad, if they engage more and more and more, then Facebook thinks that this ad is good, so it's giving it more spend so that people might convert. Also, in the first 24-48 hours, we have Facebook actually giving us some low-hanging fruit sales, which is again something that I cannot prove, but if you go, there are a lot of people, or you that you are watching this video, that you have the perception that your ads are working very well for 24-48 hours and then they die. The reason is because we are optimizing for conversion events. Facebook is actually giving us some sales at the beginning in order for us to continue optimizing based on the sales. Now, given the fact that, which I cannot prove it again, I'm saying, but given the fact that we're getting some early sales on the beginning, there is the randomness of the initial result, which is this. First of all, it's going to engage. If the people who engage with an ad, they are the wrong people, and then Facebook thinks that this ad is good and is giving us sales to this ad is not going to continue doing well in the next days. Don't think that Facebook doesn't know who is going to convert or not. It knows exactly, because it knows if someone is spending all their money up to the 15th of the month. It knows everything about us. If we want to buy something or something, it's about, humans are creatures of routine, okay? So we have a routine and we buy certain things or certain days, but we don't realize it, okay? If we analyze which I think is going to happen in the next years with the help of AI, maybe the AI is going to analyze our behavior and stuff, but this AI on Facebook is already analyzing that. Maybe later we're going to have tools in order to understand how we are actually operating in our daily life. But this is something that Facebook is doing for us for years, based on all the information that we are feeding it, okay? If we saw on Facebook that we bought something, or if we buy something through a Facebook ad, it knows it doesn't only know when we're going to buy, it also knows what we like to buy, and it also knows if we have the money to buy, because it sees the behavior of when we're spending or not. If we have a graph of what we do in our daily life, you will see that we are really, really boring, okay? And there is only a small percentage of the population that is doing crazy stuff all the time without following a routine. I like my routine. I have a routine. I always follow my routine. So most probably that's the case, and the AI understands who are the low-hanging fruits, and it's giving us the low-hanging fruits at the beginning, because we're optimizing for a purchase event to continue going down that path, because Facebook is working like this. It's getting one sale from Konstantinos, then it finds a similar person like Konstantinos, and so on and so on. The example that I like to use here in order to analyze the randomness of the initial results is this. when I believe it was some months ago, my sister has 2 children. My niece actually, I was having a birthday. I wanted to buy her some clothes, but I'm not a parent myself. So when I bought from an ad, I'm not the ideal customer because I'm just going to buy once most probably and not again. And I'm not someone who has demographics or points of interest that if you use me as a data point, you can find more and more people like me so that you can expand it to the right people so that they can also buy. So I'm just like what I like to call a false sale over here. And based on the randomness of the initial result, if someone was unlucky for me to be the first sale or second sale on the ads that they start now because I was a low-hanging fruit for Facebook, then that means that the hot pocket that it was created around me, it was wrong. And it was actually optimized to a wrong hot pocket. You know that it's going to target people like me, but most probably they're not going to buy because, okay, maybe they have a niece, but they are not going to buy her clothes. So that being said, I truly believe in the randomness of the initial result, and this is why I created the crazy method so that you can avoid that. You can do several ad sets that are going to optimize for different hot pockets that are going to be created from the randomness of the initial results. So what did we learn so far? That we have an ad or an ad set or many ads or whatever, and initially they're optimizing based on the engagement, so whoever engages. So if you're unlucky and someone is a bad engagement, this is bad for your ad. Secondly, we have the results that Facebook is giving us initially, and they're going to be better or worse based on how good your pixel is or your ad account, because it's going to have some direction also from the pixel for the ideal avatar of yours. So the example that I gave before, for example, it doesn't work so well with very big trained ad accounts that are going to find good low-hanging fruits initially, and maybe they don't even need the low-hanging fruits, but it's working better for smaller ad accounts that they don't have so good trained pixels. So after that, a sale is coming, and it's being boosted a little bit from Facebook, especially in the new ad accounts, and you're having another sale, and maybe your results are going to die or not based on the hot pocket that's going to be formed. How does a hot pocket is being formed? All of us, we have some unique characteristics and we have some data points, okay? I like cigars, I like food, I like Facebook ads, I'm married, this and that and that, and I like to travel and all of that, okay? All of that compires an avatar that we have millions of data points of different individual data points. And based on where I'm converting, then it's going to find another person who has maybe 50% of these data points. I don't know the numbers exactly because Facebook doesn't share that with us. So it's optimizing based on that. If I'm a good lead for this specific ad, I'm going to form a hot pocket over there of people that they are coming in. They are being pickpocketed from the full potential reach, but I'm forming a hot pocket within this reach, which is going to be smaller and it's going to be filled with people that they are similar to me. If I'm a good lead initially and I'm a good purchase initially, and the hot pocket that I'm forming is super aligned with all the other people that they're going to buy, this is good because people are going to come and they are going to buy also, and it's going to work flawlessly. But if I'm not, or if my pixel is not strong enough to indicate who is a good low-hanging fruit or not, then the hot pocket which is going to be formed is not going to work. This is why I really liked a crazy method, and this is how I started moving with crazy method ad accounts to profitability, because a lot of times people were running just one ad, and this one ad maybe it wasn't going to work. Don't forget that there are not a lot of people that you can spend an enormous amount of money so that we can talk about volume. Because if you talk about volume, you can say that, okay, I'm going to run it and I'm going to give so much money that even if some bad leads are coming or sales, there are going to be some good ones and they're going to help optimize overall. What are you doing when you are working with smaller budgets? You need to be flexible and you need to have strategies like that. And of course, relaunch. What is relaunch? Relaunch is working because something that used to work, it stopped working. You duplicate it, you run it the next day at 6 a.m., which means that it forms a new hot pocket and it optimizes all over again. Some more observations. 2 actually. One observation that I have done is that in ad accounts that they are having high average order value, and it doesn't mean that all of the orders are high average order value. I have seen that in an ad set, when you're doing when you're having some sales in low average order value, then this ad set continues to optimize with low average order value, and this never changes. But when it starts with high average order value, then it continues with high average order value. This is another thing that I have seen because of the hot pockets, which I believe it's why it's happening. The other thing is the randomness of the results between the days. So when I could see one ad set working, having, let's say that I'm launching the same ad on Monday, the same ad on Wednesday, the same ad on Friday. It was having completely different results based on the sales that it was getting on the first or second day. So you can have one campaign which has optimized pretty well because it formed a hot pocket, and you can have exactly the same campaign, and don't talk to me about let's say, how do we say that? Competing with each other, because at this point, I can tell you that there is no competition when you are targeting 150 million people. These observations, along with the fact that I have showed you this 1.7 million in one ad set with the full potential reach, and I have seen that in this ad set, I was having a frequency of 5, 6, I don't remember, and just reached by just spending all of this amount of money, just 10 million people. Which is not okay, because I was targeting 170 million people. That being said, I believe that the hot pocket has been formed there. It was working for that hot pocket, and it was trying to expand the hot pocket instead of trying to go outside of the hot pocket and target the other million people. Or we will have to think and believe that Facebook is lying about the potential reach of the audiences that exist there. So all of that combined, it's my personal experience and how I have seen ads and ad sets optimize and behave. And this is what I believe that is happening. It's the hot pocket thing. A lot of people, they think that this is a bullshit and they don't like it and stuff. But the way that I explain it today to you with this data, which I can prove, by the way, with actual numbers, and I have proven already with my different videos, it's something that takes me to this, not method, but to this philosophy about the hot pockets and how they're being formed, and this theory, which I cannot prove, but based on my observation, it's 100% true. Just before we close the video, I would like to give you a small example, because I really like to simplify things so that everybody can understand them. Let's say that I am in a square, in a public square, and over there are walking daily, which is our budget daily, 50 million people. I'm sitting in the middle of the square and I'm selling bottles of water. I'm going to have some sales here and there, and okay, then I'm learning that one club which is on the corner, it's out of water, so I'm going outside of the club and I'm starting selling waters there, and I'm getting more sales. It's not that I left from the area of the 50 million people, which is the square. It's just that I moved into a position, into a hot pocket, that over there I was having more sales because there was more need there. So everybody is talking inside the club and say, oh my God, I need water. There's one guy outside which is selling water. They're out of water here, so everybody's coming and buying. So this hot pocket, it's optimizing and it's working there, but it's still within the hot pocket area, but it's still within the full potential reach of the square. This is what a hot pocket is. It's just after having some sales, or maybe just to keep it in the example, to keep it better, let's say that someone from the club came to the middle and he bought, and then I understood it and I moved with him. He told me, hey, I want to buy because on the club there is no water. So me and him, we went on the corner and we created the hot pocket there for more people coming from the club. And the other thing that we need to analyze here is that I never left the 50 million. I created a hot pocket outside of the club because there was no water. And someone might say that maybe if you use the interest of club, you still can go there and you can do, but over there you don't know if your information is good or bad. Because in the case that I was in the middle of the square, somebody come and told me it's the low-hanging fruit that came to me from Meta, let's say, and he took me and we created a hot pocket there outside of the club. On the other case with the interest, you go there outside of the club, but you don't know, maybe maybe it was a false information that the club is out of water, for example. Maybe you're not going to have sales, or maybe nobody is going to come outside of the club to buy so that it can go inside and say to the others. I hope that this stupid example helps you to understand it more, a little bit of how I believe that it works. Don't forget, guys, that if you want to learn more, you can check my book, you can check my course, you can check my website, you can check my other videos to find more stupid examples that I have. And until we meet again, be creative and be consistent.